Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. It's been a while. It's been emotional. It's been 6 weeks since I've uploaded a video, but I haven't thought like I needed to say anything. You know what I mean? The season finished. The FA Cup final was disappointing. Then we had the parade, and then basically it's been the Euros. So I've not really had anything to say. I don't like to just make videos for the sake of it. I feel like people will be like, is he waffling again? It's great to get your channel up and all that, which is what we want to do. But I just feel like I'm doing you guys a bit of an injustice if I'm here every day talking shit. You know what I mean? There's no point. So the season finished. The Euros began. We've all watched the tournament. I wasn't a big fan of the England side going into it. And Southgate, etc., etc. That doesn't mean I don't support my country. You know what I mean? It's if I think the team's not good enough, that's just my opinion. But I still support the country. I still got behind it. I went out to the Denmark game in the groups. Flew to Frankfurt from Edinburgh Airport with all the Scottish fans, which was interesting. Wearing an England top, so but we had good crack. Went to Frankfurt, had a great time. Game was disappointing, 1-1. Managed to sit with Phil Foden's family for the game. Really enjoyed that, having a good chat to his mum and dad and that. And yeah, went out there, supported the team. And then, as you know, I watched the next games at the AO Arena in town. They do a thing, Road to Victory. Really well organised. Wingman, who's on the Man City team of presenters, he presented it. It was really, really good there. And then obviously we got to the final, and I'm just back from Berlin. So we flew out Saturday morning. We managed to get on Sport Options, a chartered flight. It was an Ethiopian Airlines plane, and when I tell you the size of this plane, it was massive and massive. Really good plane, TVs on it and that. Something out of the 80s though, the plane, but it got us there. It got us there. Sport Options, great shout. They got us there. We landed in Leipzig. That we were supposed to land in Berlin, but the night before we'd got changed to Leipzig, which was a blessing, to be fair. Landed in Leipzig, got the train from Leipzig to Berlin, and Berlin on to Alexanderplatz, etc., etc. As you've probably seen on the TV, the England fans outnumbered the Spanish like 5-1. It was unbelievable scenes, really, really good. And relatively no trouble. Didn't really see much trouble, just seen a lot of drunk people and stuff. Obviously, we got in the ground early. Probably one of the best renditions of God Save the King you've ever heard. Brilliant. Football's coming home, brilliant. And then the disappointing part's the game. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to analyse the game on here and bore you with England. We've all got our own opinions on England. My opinion stems from the manager. I feel like if you appoint a manager that wouldn't get a top job in England, because nobody in the top 8 would take him, in my opinion, you can't expect when you get to deeper rounds of competitions to go and win it, because I believe that tactically he's very, very naive, and I feel like when you need a little spark or something special, he doesn't do it at the right times. And I think elite managers do that at the right time in games. They know when to change it. I feel like Gareth doesn't do that. So for me, my quick opinion on England is they did really, really well to get to the final. How they got there, I don't know, but they were there. I feel like we need to get rid of Southgate now, go in a different direction, freshen it up. He's had 8 years there. He's had long enough. And get somebody in, technical manager, somebody that can think outside the box, somebody that's going to get the best out of these young players, and somebody that's not afraid to drop players. You know what I mean? These people coming to the end of careers now for England, in my opinion. People are struggling. I feel like the goalkeeping situation as well. Pickford is good, shot stopping wise, but giving the ball away so many times in the game was just crazy. You know what I mean? Giving the Spaniards the ball. They had the ball more than us anyway, but giving it them back when we did have the ball was just suicide. So listen, football wasn't coming home. Big Steve was coming home yesterday with delays after delays after delays. I finally got in my house. I left the hotel room at 6 a.m. in Berlin, and I got in my house at about 8:30 last night. I'd done 5 trains, 2 taxis, and an Ethiopian Airlines. And to top it all off, on the Ethiopian Airlines, all I had left to eat was fish. First of all, fish, because I was starving. But they got us home, so big up Sport Options. But anyway, enough of the nonsense, England nonsense. Enough of that now. It's gone. It's been done. We've sung the national anthem. We've sung Phil Foden's on fire. The St. George's flags have been folded back in the drawer, put away for next time. The England shirt is back on the hanger, and it's fully Manchester City FC mode now. Manchester City FC mode now. Pre-season has officially started. Yeah. Pre-season has officially started. And it was good to see a few of the boys coming back to the training ground yesterday. It gets the juices flowing for the season. And now we can focus on 5 in a row. That's the aim. Pep Guardiola's back. He's staying. So 5 in a row is the target. It's been really, really quiet on the transfer front. Really quiet. But today I'm waking up. Ederson, I believe, has accepted a package to join a team in Saudi Arabia. It's down to the clubs, but City are holding tight on the price, which is fair. Fair play. And then JulianAlvarez to Madrid. But this one doesn't surprise me. I did hear a rumour a while back, like late into the season last year, that family and agent were pressing for a move to Madrid, Atletico Madrid. I feel like the family want that lifestyle where they follow him everywhere. I think they want the sun and the sand, and they feel like he should be playing week in, week out, which I agree with. I feel like he's a good player. I feel like he is good enough to play week in, week out for someone. But with Big Earl in there, is he going to get the chance at City? I don't think so. I don't think so. But he's come in. He's won the treble. He's won the league again this year. He's chipped in. He's a good player. Is he quite good enough to be Manchester City's main striker? In my opinion, no. I don't think he is. So, I don't know what you guys think, but Alvarez, if we can get 80 million, 90 million they're talking about, I think we can buy another striker for that decent, do you know what I mean, to play in and around Earl. That could probably offer a little bit more than Alvarez. I feel like Alvarez at City, Pep don't know his best position. I don't think he's a number 10. I don't think he's a lone striker. I don't think he's a winger. So he needs to find a setup somewhere which works for him. You know what I mean? So if Atletico Madrid are willing to pay the money, I would probably take that, to be fair. I'd probably take that. As for a replacement, the market on strikers is very, very thin. You've got your Ollie Watkins. You've got your Ivan Tonys. You've got your Osimhen at Napoli. They could be options for City, but have City got their eye on somebody else somewhere? You know what I mean? Have they got a striker in South America, somewhere where they're thinking, you know what, we'll get him? I don't know. But let me know what you think in the comments about Alvarez. Do you think it's would be a good move, 80, 90 million? Do you think, would you take that? You know, is he going to sit on the bench for another year? He's in his prime. He's playing for Argentina. He's winning trophies. You know, he's probably feeling like he needs to get settled somewhere now. And with Ederson, I don't want to see Ederson go. I really like him. And I feel like after watching Pickford all tournament, Ederson is just, he's a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? The passing and that. But it's life-changing money for these players. You know what I mean? And Ederson's won everything. He's come to England and won a lot. He took us to the next level. I'd be sad to see him go. I don't believe Ederson realises how much he's loved at City. Do you know what I mean? And I think a lot of City fans, when he leaves, will realise what he brought to the team. Because for me, he's one of the best. But there's one good situation. We have Stefan Ortega, who is the best number 2 in the world. Can be number 1. So I am calm if Ederson leaves, that Ortega can step in and be number 1 for City. and do that job. I don't think it's as good as Ederson with the ball at his feet, but he ain't bad. He's on that. He's there, nearly there. Do you know what I mean? So, and then whether we bring in another goalkeeper, let's talk about a young Brazilian kid, Mahul or something from Paranense or something I've seen. He could be the future, Ederson. He could be the future. You know what I mean? I don't know. So that's the goalkeeping situation we could be changing. Alvarez could be going. That could kickstart a move for a striker. I've seen the Dani Olmo rumours as well. I mean, Dani Olmo's a fantastic player. I mean, you look at him the other night for Spain. He's got that knack of drifting into that gap and punishing teams. And I feel like at City, he'd be perfect. You know what I mean? I think with Big Earl keeping that back four away, Dani Olmo coming into the gap would be great. But we're overloaded in there. You know, we've got Phil in there, we've got Kevin in there, we've got Bernardo in there. You know, we've got Jack can play in there. So I don't know. We know that Savio was signed, very exciting winger from Brazil. This could see a change in direction for Pep. This could be a Doku Savio situation. If we can get them two on the pitch at the same time, that's pretty scary. You know what I mean? For defenders, that takes you back to the Leroy Sané, Raheem Sterling days where we had two fast wingers getting in behind and that. And I feel if that happens and these two can get their head up and get them balls in the box, I think Big Earl thrives. I think it takes Haaland to a next level. And if you've got the midfield coming behind them of a Kevin De Bruyne, a Phil Foden, a Rodri, some team. And I know the younger fans get excited and they want transfers. We all do. I was the same when I was younger. I wanted transfers. But when you actually take a step back and look at the team, we don't need too much. I feel like we need someone that can come in and do a Rodri job. I feel like we do need that. I think Rodri has been flogged for national team and club team for the last 3 or 4 years. So I feel like we do need to manage him a little bit better. The Kevin De Bruyne situation, again, with Saudi Arabia sniffing and the money they're offering, business-wise, Kevin could go. But I feel like it's not a time to panic. I feel like we've got to just relax, trust Pep. I've got a good feeling about the pre-season tour in America. I know there's not going to be many of the first team players over there, but this is a perfect prime opportunity to bring some academy players over there and put them in against top opposition and see if they've got the minerals and see if they've got the level to do it. I think this is going to be one of the most important pre-seasons we've had because I feel like a lot of the team will be made up of youngsters and this is the time to see if they made it. You've got Endala, you've got Nico O'Reilly, who I personally think is a great player. Do you know what I mean? McAtee could come back and get another sniff. You know, Micah Hamilton, people like that are going to be there. So he might take Heskey's son, Jaden, you know, who's scoring for the under-18s. You just don't know. But I feel it's a great opportunity for the youngsters to get a shout. What else was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about Jack Grealish. Obviously, we've seen the pictures online. Jack's been training early. He looks in tip-top shape. I do believe he's got a point to prove. I do believe that this is the chance now for Grealish to prove all them haters wrong. When I was out in Germany, I was speaking to a lot of fans from other clubs about Jack, and the general consensus was about 50-50. There was some lads saying he definitely should have made the plane, and there was other lads saying, look, Steve, he wasn't good enough last season. And I think if you spoke to Jack privately and said, you know, did you have a good season last season? He probably would say no. But I find that a player with a point to prove is a dangerous player. And I feel like with the ability Jack Grealish has got, if he put his mind to it this season, this could be a season he pops off big time. This could be a Jack Grealish resurgence. This could be like Man City getting a new 50, 60 million pound player. Do you know what I mean? Because I've seen the videos of him training and he looks like he's in tip-top shape. So a motivated Jack Grealish coming back, getting on the American tour and doing his thing can only be good for us. You know what I mean? We've got the Charity Shield coming up against the Odd Mob. We owe them one for the FA Cup final. I think we'll be a bit of a patched up team, to be honest. But it is what it is. As long as we're ready for Chelsea the week after, get the ball rolling, I feel like we'll be all right. We'll be all right. But what do you guys think about the pre-season situation? Is there anyone you're looking forward to see in the first team from the youth team? What's your thoughts on Jack Grealish? You know, do you think he's got a future at City? Do you think he's not? And Alvarez, do you know what I mean? Would you keep him? Would you let him go? Kevin De Bruyne, would you keep him? Would you let him go? You know, from a selfish point of view, we love Kev. But from a business point of view, if there's somebody offering you 100 million for a player at that age, and what you could do with 100 million now with the FFP and all that, I feel like City would be stupid not to talk. So things could change. We could have a changed side. We could have the fast wingers, the Doku and Savio. You know, we've got a lot of energy in the team. I feel like Kovacic, end of last season, was coming into his own. I feel like he was doing well. Him and Rodri were doing well, driving from midfield. It was linking up. It was good. It took the pressure off Rodri a little bit. We've got Calvin Phillips, who's returned. I don't think he's got a future there. He went to West Ham. It didn't work out. He come to City now. I can't see him getting in the side. I think that City need to find a situation for Calvin. I feel like he's a top kid, a top lad. Everyone likes him, but I feel like he needs a fresh start. I feel like the City move has probably worked out great financially, but as him as a footballer, his stock's dropped. He didn't make the England squad. So he needs to go somewhere, maybe an Everton, maybe, or someone like that, or maybe someone that's just been promoted, like a Leicester, or somebody that could get him and make him the main man. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to drop down to Leeds in the Championship. I feel like he's a lot better than that. I feel like he has to aim for that World Cup and start putting in some performances for someone in the Premier League. So I wish Calvin all the best anyway. I'm sure everyone does, but I don't see Calvin in the mix. I don't. Looking at the defence, Ake, Guardiola, left-backs. Do we sign a left-back and put Guardiola at centre-back? That could be an option. We've not really had a left-back. We were linked with Theo Hernandez at AC Milan, who's a great player, the French kid. But that's gone cold. Right-back situation with Kyle. We've got Rico Lewis in the wings. Is he good enough to replace Kyle Walker? At the minute, I think no. I feel like City have to nail Rico down to a position. If he's going to be a right-back, we need to play him there. We need to make it his position. We need to... he needs to shadow Kyle Walker, and he needs to become the best right back he can become. He can't keep popping up in midfield, then at left back, then at right back, and then I don't think it benefits him. You know what I mean? Jeremiah Frimpong, ex-Man City player, obviously had a season and a half at Leverkusen. He's fantastic. We've been linked to him. There's buyout clauses, etc. He could be an option, but you know, Kyle Walker not getting any younger. Got a lot of criticism in the tournament, Kyle, which was a little bit harsh. But for Man City last season, he was a bit erratic, in my opinion. He was, you know, he was a bit erratic. I feel like he had his own personal problems. He's had his head turned by Saudi Arabia. His head turned by Bayern Munich at one point. But I just feel like he's coming to the end. I feel like the interviews he's doing at the minute are fucking stupid. Every interview he does, he seems to be putting his foot in his mouth and just fucking causing murders, whether it be criticising Jack Grealish, whether him telling him that the winning a trophy for England's more than the treble, just downplaying stuff that Man City fans don't want to hear, you know what I mean? So I feel like Kyle Walker situation is coming to an end, and we need somebody to replace him in that position. That is in my opinion, by the way. But let me know what you think. Is Walker up to it? Are we on the verge of a rebuild? Is that back four need tweaking? Do we need another centre-back to come in? Or do we use Guardiola as the centre-back finally, and we play? We get a full-back in? Let me know what you think in the comments. But, yeah, people, it's tough to watch an England side when you're watching Manchester City. We are spoiled. We have been watching Pep ball for the last 8 years. It is fantastic. And it can be hard to watch other teams. It can be. But we've just got to get back on it. I feel like the City fans, we had a season last year after the treble where there was a little bit of a drop-off. I think the supporters dropped off a little bit as well. I feel like the momentum we had in the treble season wasn't replicated. I know that's going to be hard to do every season, but we've had a breather. I feel this season we need to come back with the energy. We need to come back and realise that we are Manchester City. We are the top dogs in England now. We've got everybody, man and his dog, against us with these charges. 115 this, you've cheated that. So we need to galvanise early doors together, all of us, pull together as fans and get behind this team. You know what I mean? Starting at the Charity Shield. There's a lot of people I know not going to the Charity Shield. I'm on holiday early hours that morning. I can't make it. But I'm going to buy my tickets and I'm going to give them away so that somebody can go and enjoy it. And all I'm saying is if you don't go to many Man City games, or you don't like the ticket prices, or you're moaning about you can't get to the games, why not have a day out at Wembley? Go and support the lads, curtain raiser, Man City, Charity Shield, Man United. Go there, it's a derby, and support the lads. You know what I mean? Get on there. There's tickets available now. I think if you're a member, you can buy them, get a membership, and go. You know what I mean? And go. Other than that, people, there's not an awful lot going on at the minute. There's not an awful lot going on. I'm sure in the next few weeks, things will liven up a little bit. Transfers will start moving. Players from the Euros have been on holiday, so they're starting to find out where they're going to play. So I think the transfer market will start moving, and hopefully we'll get a bit of excitement at City. Do you know what I mean? We'll get something going. The new away kit is due out. The green and the green and black one, like the playoff Gillingham final one, is due out. A fantastic shirt, looks amazing. Can't wait for that. Around about mid-July, I think that's due out. I think they'll probably play in it in America. They'll probably do a launch in America to celebrate it or something. But we'll probably be the last to know, being in Manchester, knowing what it's like. But yeah, looking forward to that. That's a good kit. And yeah, other than that, there's not a lot going on, people. My channel is algorithm will be shit now because I've not done a video for 5 weeks. If you could like this stream, I'd really appreciate it. When you finish, click off and like it. Leave a comment, always gets it moving. And if you can share it amongst your mates in the City groups and stuff, and get people interacting on my channel. I'm going to start dropping the odd video now and talking about the pre-season. That'd be great. I was planning on going out to New York, but I don't think that's going to happen now. I think I am working for Manchester City in the studio. So when the games are on in America, the guys over in America, FG and that, will be doing pitch side, and then they will come back to the studio, and I believe I will be in the studio. So I'm really looking forward to that. I did it last season. I enjoyed it. It was different, but fantastic. And I appreciate all you guys messaging City when I'm on, saying that they enjoy my thoughts and stuff. It helps, you know what I mean? People are there, obviously. They want feedback. If the people are messaging saying Big Steve's a prick, then Big Steve, he's not going to get the gig. So I appreciate the kind words and that, you know what I mean? But listen, we're all together. We're Manchester City. We're the champions. We're going into this season as the champions. Can we do 5 in a row? I hope so. Let me know your thoughts, people. And if you're not following me on here, follow me. Instagram at Big Steve MCFC and TikTok at Big Steve MCFC. Come on, City. Season starts soon. Up the Blues.